everybody, I want to take a few minutes to explain the basics of dog training for you here. Having a great relationship with your dog can be a very rewarding long-term experience. I'm glad you're watching this video because training your dog is an important part of having a happy companion by your side without worrying that he'll misbehave or get into trouble. If you tried to train your dog before and it didn't work out, I'm going to give you some simple tips to have a well-behaved dog. Training your dog is pretty easy when you know the right way to do it, and just by watching this video, you'll take an important first step. It doesn't really take a lot of time and effort to train your dog correctly if you have the right guidance. So I'm going to recommend you to a website that has all the information you need as a dog owner and a lot more training tips than I can cover in this video. This guide will help you really understand your dog so you can fix any behavior problems he might have and help you get even closer to your pet than before. So just go to this link here or click the link in the description for a very useful guide you can start using right after watching this video. But for now, I'm going to give you some tips to get started. The first thing to understand is that dogs are not like other pets. With dogs, you can communicate, and the amount of loyalty, respect, and friendship you get back is just amazing. It's important to recognize that this relationship is unique. Cats, for example, are very independent and happy to be left alone for days, but dogs are the opposite. They need companionship and depend on you to guide them through each and every day. They will wait for you when you're gone and lay at your feet, anticipating your next command. You have to understand that you are the pack leader, and once you and your dog establish this connection, your entire relationship will change. Another important thing to understand is that you have to set the right mood when training your dog. Take some time every day for this, even if it's as little as 10 minutes, and make sure that both you and your dog are in a good mood when you start the training session. A positive mood and stress-free environment are very important. If you begin when your dog is upset or nervous, he will associate that with your training efforts and it may carry over into the next sessions. Make sure that you approach every training session feeling happy and excited. This will make your dog look forward to it. Now that you're set and ready to start training your dog, the first thing to learn is how he communicates. Dogs use all of their body parts and their senses to communicate with humans. They use their ears, mouths, tails, and bodies to reflect their mood, so it's important that you're able to understand what your dog is telling you. And it's just as important for the dog to understand you back. You need to establish commands, both physical and verbal, that your dog will know. I'm going to tell you how to recognize the mood and behavior of your dog so you know how to react in each situation. Here are the 8 types of behavior you need to know about. 1. Dominant behavior. This is characterized by a mouth that is slightly ajar, ears that are sprung forward, a rigid or puffy tail, and attentive eyes that are fixed on something. The dog will usually have an aggressive bark with this behavior. 2. Friendly behavior. The dog has a relaxed mouth and posture, a wagging tail, and soft eyes. The dog will usually have a quiet or playful bark or whine. Number 3. Playful behavior. This is characterized by a lot of tail wagging and pouncing or jumping around. The dog may want to bite, chase, and bark. The biting and barking is not aggressive, just playful. 4. Submissive behavior. This is characterized by clearly distressing features, like slanted or closed eyes and ears that are pressed back. The dog may be hunched over or sit on its back and may have a paws raised to you. 5. Aggressive behavior. The dog has tense features such as tapered eyes, flattened ears, a rigid stance, and an open mouth with teeth bore. His tail may be fluffed up or curl under like he is afraid, and he may be growling or barking. 6. Worried behavior. This is characterized by alert eyes and ears and many times erect hair on the neck and back. The dog will be frantic and pacing and may whine, cry, or bark. 7. Fearful behavior. The dog might seem worried, but usually with the tail curled under and a more crouched position, and possibly hiding. 8. Stressful behavior. This is characterized by an open mouth, flattened ears, quick breathing and panting, and an elevated heart rate and nervous behavior. These are the main types of dog behavior. Pay attention to your dog and start learning his moods. Remember that dogs weren't always domesticated animals. In the wild, dogs moved in packs and had to compete for leadership positions. Some of that behavior still exists in dogs' instincts and, to some point, your dog will challenge you. Remember, your dog isn't trying to misbehave. He is just testing the boundaries to see how much control he has. That's why you have to closely stake your ground before there are any questions as to who is in charge of your household. If you submit to too many of your dog's demands and let him get away with bad behavior, it'll become increasingly difficult to establish that you are in charge. When your dog does something that you disapprove of, loudly tell him no, and then pay no more attention to them in the situation. For example, if you catch your dog chewing on something that is not his toy, tell him no and take the item away. Then, without another word, just leave him there by himself and don't look at him or speak to him for at least 15 minutes. Although this may be difficult for you, know that this is much harder for him. Your disapproval and indifference are what will tell him that he did something wrong. Your dog just wants to please you. When he makes the connection between behavior and your indifference, he won't do it again. Repeat the scenario for any other thing your dog does that upsets you. The easiest way is just to deal with the situation as they arise and be consistent and always respond with authority. In time, your dog will behave more and more as you want him to. Playing into your dog's emotions works better and more permanently than any physical punishment. When training for commands, use a lot of praise and petting as a reward. I find that praise works better than treats. As I previously mentioned, your dog only wants to please you, and having your love and attention in the form of happy words and physical contact is all he needs to put two and two together. Training your dog is not as hard as you might think. Just imagine for a second that you never have to worry that your dog will misbehave when you're around other people or when you leave him alone in the house. And wouldn't you enjoy it if your dog could do some fun tricks that you could show off for your friends? Imagine that with only one word, your dog understands you and does exactly what you want him to do. It would be nice to have that great bond with your dog, right? Remember that he needs a leader, and training him will make both of you happier. You can train your dog yourself with the right guidance. Now you know how to recognize your dog's behavior and the best way to respond when he does something good or bad. But there's a lot more you can do to get closer to your dog and have a great companion by your side. I really recommend this guide that I include in the description to this video if you want to fix the problems in your dog's behavior and make training fun and effective. Just click the link in the description to check it out and you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and found some useful information that will help you really connect with your dog. I know how amazing it is to have a happy dog in your life, and I hope that you get to experience it too. That's it for me right now. Till the next one, have a great time.